If you're a fan of the Sly Guy podcast and want that extra little bit of slyness in your life every week, what you can do is get on your phone or your computer, or if you're really fancy, your smart TV, and go to www.patreon.com/Sly Guy podcast for some more tidbits. I don't know if it's tidbits or tidbits. Either way, if you like tid or you like tits, they're there on Patreon/Sly Guy podcast. There's a bonus weekly podcast. There's additional podcast series, including the Serial Killing podcast, the Champions League of Weird, and Dog Walks with Davey, which is a revelation over there. People seem to love it, but it's weird. Anyway, there's other things there, sketches, videos, bits of stand-up, lots more coming up whenever this guy goes full time. So look forward to it. And get to Patreon, support the podcast, and we get new stuff like, for example, this wee orange wire that we got just to make it look a wee bit fancier. Probably shitter quality than the black one, but hey, looks good. Patreon.com/Sly Guy podcast.
I'm the Sly Guy.
Here, hold on a wee second. What's that? Oh, welcome to the podcast, you fuckers. That's the most aggressive start that I've actually done this podcast in a while. By the way, why I've still got the wire in, I'll tell you why I've still got the wire in, why I was allowed to start like that, why I was allowed to swear. It's because the snake rat's not here today. We've got a special guest producer in to help. I was going to say to help the show. I don't know if it's to help, it's to save the show, because the snake rat has fucked me a week out of the biggest show of my life. I need this podcast to sell the last remaining tickets. So who have I called in? Who's the man to fill the hole of the snake rat? It's none other than the Butler, Aaron Butler. Welcome to Behind the Camera.
Thank you very much. If you want, you can refer to me as the Saviour.
The Saviour. I prefer the Butler. I prefer the Butler.
Right.
And I was going to say behind the camera. I nearly said behind the candelabra. Either way, it's effective. So welcome. And how does it feel to be sitting in the seat of the man who has let me down a lot this week?
It's just, you know what? There are people that will let you down in life. And that's just a fact, you know what I mean? And you know who your true friends are when it comes to the week before your Ulster Hall show, and who actually does produce the podcast for it. And that's all. I don't want, not throwing shade at anyone in particular, just saying there's certain producers out there that just don't like show up.
It is fair, and I must say that I did a couple of fucking interviews, whatever, last week in the press.
Fucking interviews,
yeah, that's some fucking interviews. Yeah. To promote the Ulster Hall show, I did some newspapers, whatever, and I did. One of them didn't know of me at all. One of the guys, it was like, he genuinely picks up the phone. He goes, right, dickhead. I don't have a waltz clue and fuck who you are. I mean, that's a weird way to speak and aggressive. But he's like, so start from the beginning. And I was like, what do you mean? He goes, where were you born and all? And I was like, well, fucking in the Ulster Hospital, like, what the? And then I was like, what's his? I'm doing a show in the Ulster Hall. That's all you need to know. And then he's like, I heard you do a wee radio show in your room or whatever. And I was like, podcast? And he goes, aye. So he asked me what it was about, and again, you know, when you just get into the vibe of chatting to people, you just sometimes tell the truth, and then sometimes you lie. Sometimes you get a bit annoyed, because sometimes in your head you're an egomaniac and you think people should know who you are, especially when they're interviewing you. But anyway, I told him that my podcast was a current affairs podcast, and I said that it was also acted as a motivational podcast. So the guy was like, fucking fair. Now, did he put that in writing? No, but I did say to him that it was a motivational podcast and a current affairs podcast. So what I want to say straight off the bat, you've just come in with some motivation to let people know how life can, in fact, be a little bit shit sometimes.
I think you can class this as a motivation podcast.
Yeah,
it could be you could label this. You could label this any sort of podcast you want. You know, a trans rights movement podcast.
It's not a trans rights podcast.
Right, sorry.
No,
anti-trans.
No, either. It's not. It doesn't identify as pro or negative anything.
Neutral. It's a neutral trans.
It's a neutral anything.
Yeah.
Yes, it's a neutral.
Neutral podcast.
It's the Switzerland of podcasts.
All right. Yeah.
And you know, as delicious as chocolate,
mm-hmm.
and as neutral as that. Yeah, it's a very neutral podcast. But listen, it's current affairs, and sometimes I say things on this podcast that sometimes get me in trouble. Mm-hmm. Other times I say things in this podcast that startle people at my knowledge. And are you ready for some knowledge?
Please.
and because it's a current affairs podcast, I know a lot of people don't want me to talk about this because it's going kind of quietly in the background here, but there's currently a trial going on of friend of the show, Jeffrey Epstein's ex-partner before his death, Ghislaine Maxwell, and I just want to predict on this podcast, she's getting off.
You think she's going to get away?
She's getting off.
Scot-free?
She's getting off.
She is getting off.
In the court of law, she's going to get murdered when she gets out, and it'll be suicide, but she will get off.
Right. And what makes you think that?
Well, I've been just following the trial, and a lot of the evidence is very flawed. A lot of the prosecution is flawed, and the defence is really pitching it that she is in fact, a bit of a meek lady who was just led astray by Jeffrey Epstein. So they have it.
And how's your 2 kids?
Are my 2 kids?
Yeah.
I mean,
by this, because I just think you're so involved in the Epstein case that you've probably not seen them for the last few weeks.
Listen, you're a one-off producer of this podcast. Never use the phrase "you're involved in the Epstein case."
No, yeah.
That makes people think. I've stated in jest on this podcast that I went to the Epstein Island with Tim McGarry. I didn't. I left him to the city airport.
Tim did.
For Tim to go.
Yeah.
Tim went there and he brought Jake with him, and then they fell out in the island, and that's why
That's
why Jake's not in the playing game anymore. They fell out. They took 2 different sides, and that's why.
Did you see they released I seen this on TikTok today where I get all my news. They released that Epstein had flight logs over in Dublin.
Yeah.
So did you know that?
Because
you're deep in.
Yeah, because what actually happened, I made a balls up because Shane Todd actually gave me the flight booking to chauffeur Tim and Jake to.
And he gave you the wrong terminal, probably, and you had to run to the next terminal.
No, he told me to go to the internet or the city airport, but it was actually Dublin, so they had to get a bus from the city to Dublin, and there you have it. It is what it is, and that some people, as I say, current affairs. Insider scoop. There's some comedy insider scoop for you, and then here's another answer for you. Why have I, now a veteran of the comedy scene, never been asked to be in the Blame Game?
Well, what do you want to get? Do you want to tell us why you think?
Because I know too much.
That's fair.
So if I go on there,
you'll let loose.
I'll let loose. I'll say one thing, and the next thing you know, I'll be found dead in my garage, hanged from industrial strength rope. And there you have it. I don't want to say any more, but that's it. But you've heard it here first. I've people call me, I don't know, because I know you don't really listen to this podcast, which is fair enough. Respect one best friends, doesn't matter.
I actually do. I dabble. This is the one of the most local. This is the one of the podcasts I listen to most of the most local podcasts. Now, is it about once a month and it's for like maybe 30 minutes? Yeah.
But do you enjoy it when you're on?
Oh yeah, I do.
Thank you.
Yeah,
so what you might know then that I've been referred to by listeners before as Nostradamus. I've made many predictions that have come to light.
Yeah.
So I also predicted on my Patreon podcast that Kyle Rittenhouse would get off for his trial of shooting people. Got off.
I don't know who that is.
He was a guy, basically a young white man.
I like him.
And he shot
I like him.
People who are not white at a rally. Now, what had happened, there's some people are like, this is a disgrace, he got off.
Is this a local boy?
No, this is in the United States of America.
Oh, right.
If it was here, like, people just get shot here, just get kneecapped, and they go, well, I deserve that. And in there, it's all a big fuss. But he basically went to this rally, but brought like a submachine gun with him. And then, to be fair, he got attacked by some people, and then instead of just being like, get off me, he killed him with his gun. So people are like, excessive. Now, should he have been at the rally with his gun? No. But then he shouldn't have got attacked either, because I wouldn't attack someone with a gun. It's loopy. But he got off, and Ghislaine's getting off as well. And
when does she get off? What's like the date of when does this all finish?
I just think she's going to be totally exonerated. I think
Today?
No. The case will carry on for quite a while. What else has also happened, which I think discredits a lot of people, is everyone so far that's been on to give evidence has received large sums of money. So the defence is like,
from the Blame Game.
Yeah, from the Blame Game. So
its budget's gotta go somewhere.
Who's ringing me here when I'm in the middle of the podcast? My mother.
Oh no!
Hold on a second.
Are you going to answer this?
I should. Hold on. Hello, mother. No, I'm in the middle of a live podcast, which is getting recorded right now. So, that's okay. Well, I'll tell you what. You can hold that thought, and I'll ring you on my way home. God bless. Bye. That's my mother. Very, very open-ended question. She just rang me and went, someone from the Blame Game has called at our house. There's producers from the show, and what's it about? And I was just like, listen, I'll phone you away home. So both my parents are unfortunately probably going to commit suicide tonight.
They've got eyes and ears everywhere.
They do. Eyes and ears. Oh my days. But yeah, they're there. And they just wanted to know why. So there you have it. But no, what was I saying there before I got so startled? Because initially I thought it was going to be someone to help me promote this gig, and I could feel the blood in my skin. I could feel my blood going from my heart to my face, and I was getting angry. I was like, so help me God, I don't want to hear from you today.
Yeah.
But yeah, so what was I saying before that?
You were saying about Ghislaine, she's going to get off scot-free, but you also think it's
I don't think she's going to get off scot-free. Let me say, I think her reputation is sullied.
Right.
I don't think she's going to be able to, throw these parties like she once did. I don't think, her housewarming parties will be getting the same level of interest, let's just say.
I don't think she'll want to host them anymore.
No, have you ever, you're a man who's recently moved into your own house.
Yeah.
Have you hosted a party yet?
Of no kind.
No.
And I don't plan to.
It's stressful. All right, I've hosted a couple of parties in my time, and this, let alone elite high end, like people like Bill Clinton, Tim McGarry at your parties. That's different, So what I should do also while I'm here is take my earphones out. Because,
I thought you had those in because you were listening to something.
No, I know. It would be very unprofessional, but I just forget now. Because this is the thing with AirPods, you don't even know they're there, and this is why. Have you ever seen the movie? It was quite well known in the 80s, Terminator.
I think I've seen it.
Well, what
times.
it said in the Terminator was that effectively humans and machines will become one, and then machines will take over the Skynet, whatever else. And I just want to say that nowadays we all are part computer.
You think the Terminator's becoming? You think fictional movie The Terminator is becoming a part of your life?
I feel fictional movie The Terminator, a lot of it's true. And you know what the first step towards the Terminator becoming a real thing was? Self-service checkouts. Putting people out of jobs. Yeah,
it was. Yeah, that was the prequel. I think that the comic book. Yeah,
like for example, back in the day. It's probably wrong to suggest that this particular race of people, ethnicity of people, nationality of people do this, but the Japanese were wild keen on used to they like to bomb people, during the wars, like getting their planes, go the bomb Pearl Harbor. Actually, today's, I believe, the anniversary of Pearl Harbor. R.I.P. Been to Pearl Harbor, paid my respects. But they used to go and bomb places. They used to go in. They used to actually be kamikaze. They used to lay down their lives to cause carnage to other people. Now I like that level of hate. I like that level of vindictiveness and vengeance that they would lay down. Sometimes I would do that. I would lay down my own life for vengeance on certain types of people, like sea swimmers. I would go in with a suicide vest if I had to. Yeah. But nowadays, people went, those Japanese are a bit mad. The Japanese go a bit far. Yeah. So then what they said is, we can make drones to go into our bombing force so we don't even have to be there. So you got people like you with your tech skills just whacking off fucking half of the Middle East, like
drone strikes.
Yeah,
is what you're talking
and
about.
who predicted that?
Terminator.
James Cameron and the Terminator
and the fictional movie The Terminator.
Yeah. So my point is, people are going, no, day to day we're not machines. What's this? It's a machine. I am coming into this mic. You're over there coming into the mic.
No,
I'm
not
earphones.
coming into the mic.
These, could you live a day to day life without your mobile phone?
I could, but it wouldn't be as functional.
You couldn't. You could live a life, but not the life you live, my friend.
Well, I couldn't live. There's a lot of things I couldn't have.
I've been in your house, and a lot of people lose their mind about
Alexa?
No, a lot of people lose their mind about the injections and say the government, your house is wired by Skynet. You've got an Alexa, she is the number one Skynet bitch.
I invite in random forms of technology so people can spy on me. I'm open to it. Yeah,
but you've one of those doorbells, don't you?
I have a Ring doorbell. I have 3 Alexa devices around the house. I have smart bulbs everywhere. It's like if
Skynet called it.
I'm like Tony Stark. I'm like the Avengers.
I'm like Tony Soprano.
Tony the Tiger.
Yeah, but I just think that nowadays, things do come true. James Cameron's the original Nostradamus, even though he was born many years later, but he called it all in the Terminator, and I'm just happen to call it with this trial. I believe she'll get off scot-free. Also, my point being that everyone that they've cross-examined got a lot of dough, and they're like, why'd you take the dough and not, you know what I mean? You seem to be alright about taking the dough. And they're all like, well, I wasn't alright about it, but I mean, it was a hefty amount of dough. And what I think has happened there is that old Jeffrey has been a little bit, he was definitely a sly guy.
Yes.
Like, he took a lot of footage, you know, a lot of hidden cameras, a lot of leverage against a lot of powerful people. And now look where it got him, dead.
Yes.
Suicide.
Yes.
R.I.P.
Yeah. Well, don't say R.I.P.
R.I.P.
maybe.
Rest in peace. We don't. God, like, what is it that all the Smicks have tattooed on their arms? Only God can judge me.
Their son's name.
That's what a lot of them have called their sons.
Only God can judge me. Only
yeah,
God can judge me.
So, you know, I think that God will judge Jeffrey Epstein.
Right. And how do you think he'd judge him?
Depends how much he pays him, really. I mean, or what he offers him. But listen, I'm
Heaven
sure
tokens?
heaven tokens, the work, like the works. You know,
Crypto in heaven?
he might have an island up there. God might have an island and be like, listen, Jeffrey, all I'm saying is you run the island. We'll be dead on. Now, is that blasphemous? Possibly.
Yeah.
But you know another thing that I was going to make a joke about there, and I'm glad I didn't. I was going to say that in some other religions, people make jokes about certain things, and then people go and kill them about it. So I don't want anyone to kill me over that. All right, it wouldn't be pleasant.
No.
Kids.
I think you'll be alright, don't worry.
Yeah, like, here, a teacher in France told a story in a class about, I don't even want to say it because I'm scared of it, about a god in another religion. And what happened was the pupil's dad came in to the school with a machete and cut the teacher's head off. And, like, getting your head cut off is not ideal. It's not like getting shot. Sometimes you survive being shot. If your head comes off your body, the Band-Aid won't solve that.
They can't reattach it, is what you're saying?
Yeah. Like, and Taylor Swift said Band-Aids don't fix bullet holes. They also don't fix decapitations.
But for you to get decapitated, they're gonna need, like, it's gonna take a long. It's gonna be. I
mean, listen, you're gonna have to hire landscape gardeners. You're gonna have to get them in. They're gonna have to get tree. They'll come in and be like, we can't actually cut this neck. We're gonna have to get a tree surgeon.
Yeah.
And then it's a thick old neck.
So you'll be alright because they'll just look out and go, fuck it, we can't be annoyed with.
And I would just be getting sore. You know, I'd just be getting hurt with it. I'd be trying to stop it,
Yeah,
and then,
exactly.
They couldn't do it. You know, they need, like, you know, everyone's granny has one of those electric cutters, and it always looks brown. It's like just the handle's like this brown plastic, and they've had it since before you were born, probably, to cut fucking hams and turkeys and all. And that's the works.
So you can make fun of any religion, is what I'm saying, and be fine about it.
All I'm saying, listen, religion, people.
Here we go.
Every religion preaches certain things. My religion is a religion of love, openness and silliness.
That's lovely.
I think you should be allowed to be silly about things. I think you're allowed to make jokes about things. Ultimately, my heart's in the right place.
Yes.
And I think, as a religious person, you shouldn't say it's fair to kill someone based on that's sly. You know? But yet again, before the Terminator, before the Skynet, a little old book called the Bible.
That's right.
Said the world will end due to war of their religions. And hey, look at our little country right here.
That's true. A lot of conflict, but we're getting better. But the Bible didn't say that the world's going to end because of Skynet. So does that mean we're approving of Skynet?
Well, what I think is there is a level of dangerous advancement in this world right now.
Do you think Zuckerberg is getting ahead of himself?
No, I think the Metaverse is the natural next step for all the fucking losers that currently exist in this world. I think these incels are going to be living in this wee. So, like, there'll be guys sitting there like Pearl from Blade on a computer, and there'll be this cute little boy just. The paedophiles will be everywhere in the Metaverse.
Oh, well,
and,
that's a statement.
You know, oh my God. My mind is about to explode.
Please.
Who was the producer, director, and writer of the Terminator?
James Cameron.
James Cameron. I think it was him, wasn't it?
I think so. I might have to look it up.
And who's the writer, creator of the other future predictor? Avatar?
It's James Cameron, wasn't it?
James Cameron. Or Ridley Scott, but I think it was James Cameron.
No, it was James Cameron, yeah.
So what I'm saying there is he's predicted the Metaverse in what Avatar is, and he also predicted the rise. What I'm saying is, forget Zuckerberg, Forget fucking Elon Musk. Forget that other fucking nerd with
Bezos.
the bald head, Bezos. Yeah, forget him. Like, no one gives a fuck about Bill Gates anymore. He's small fry.
He is.
But what I'm saying, James Cameron's maybe the one that knows.
You think we're all going to be big blue aliens fucking each
No,
other?
I just think James Cameron knows.
All right.
He knows everything that's happening in the future. He is the future predictor, James Cameron. Skynet called it, because Tesco's now have their own wee fucking self-service checkouts, and also the metaverse is Avatar. 'Cause that's what Avatar is, isn't it? It's the guy, one of the soldiers, who ends up going in a wee fucking place and just goes in this other world, like, and that's what it is.
Yeah, just like you did with your eyes there. That's exactly.
Yeah,
how
but
it happens.
that's what happens. See, when you go in these. Now, I did read a thing about the euthanasia machine that has been approved in Switzerland, which is apparently a more humane way to die.
All right.
So, I mean, to be fair, I was reading a document about it. I maybe get this up because it has literally just been approved today, which is coincidental because it'll probably be, Ghislaine Maxwell will have access to one of these, I'm sure, after she gets let off the trial. Let me see. Euthanasia. Did you ever see the hilarious, meme that went about a guy who did some sort of university presentation about euthanasia?
No.
Yeah, it's very funny. Let me find it here. Euthanasia machine, Switzerland. But it was like he obviously wasn't listening in class and did a full presentation on youth in Asia. And it was this a little Asian boy, and he had written euthanasia, and it was one of the funniest things I ever seen in my life. So yeah, are you ready for this? Who do you want? What article do you want to read from The Independent or from India Today? I'll pick one.
Oh, India Today.
India
please.
Today.
Yeah.
Khalik Sadiq Gadava. What are you?
Savit Ladakadala.
Close. I mean,
Yeah.
the Indian man. You speak Indian as well as I speak Gaelic.
Namaste.
So the painless death in 1 minute. A machine that assists suicide clears legal review in Switzerland. Let me see. A coffin-shaped capsule which promises relatively painless and peaceful death. in under a
Relatively,
minute.
I don't
Yeah.
like the word.
Has cleared new legal review in Switzerland, the makers have claimed. Death occurs through hypoxia and hypocapnia by reducing oxygen to a critical level in the pod. I mean, we should do that on the pod. The machine can be operated from inside by blinking in the case of a person suffers from locked-in syndrome, a condition which a patient is aware but cannot move or communicate. The machine is taken the preferred location of the user, and then the biodegradable capsule is detached from the base in order to serve as a coffin. So, man, it's pretty weird. Like, you can see it. I mean, it looks like a Power Rangers helmet. And yeah, it's pretty cool.
I might like that. I think there's a lot of elaborate words in there just to basically say we just cut off oxygen.
Yeah.
And that's
But apparently
that's the humane
what
way.
they say it sounds like they could just cut off and you go, fucking panic. Apparently they just lower it so you sort of feel like a sense of euphoria and highness, then you die. The only thing about that is I think you might change your mind halfway through it and you might be like, I don't want to die anymore.
Yeah, if you have some sort of spiritual journey as you're fading away, and then you're like, hold on.
Like there was another machine that somebody had invented which is much more elaborate, and I think if you were to choose your own death you go for this. It was like a roller coaster, but whatever way this guy had worked out the maths and the physics of it, each loop gets smaller as you go along, and whatever way that torque is in your body, it just, you eventually lose consciousness, and then by the end of it your heart stops and you die.
It's not bad.
Yeah. So
fun.
I mean, I don't know how we ended up in this particular
Dark.
this particular place came about by just trying to welcome you to the guest producing the podcast.
Yeah, it's good to be
And
here.
and here we are. I mean, I did want to have a general catch up with you.
Sure.
Now, again, what we should have probably done for this is had you on the podcast, because I realise now for the people watching this, you're doing lots from over there, but
It's all good.
it's all gravy. The audio people are getting a lot of cum.
Exactly.
They're delighted.
A lot of bonus for
a
the
lot
audio.
of bonus audio content. But so how are you anyway? What's the crack? I haven't seen you in probably a week or so.
Yeah,
What's
probably
been
a
happening?
bit longer maybe. We haven't seen each other properly in a long
But
time.
now we talk a lot.
We talk
a lot.
bit,
It's like a long distance relationship. It's still there.
Yeah. You're in
But-
Bangram and Belfast.
Yeah.
It's just hard to work out the logistics.
And
but
we're both busy men. We like the work. We like the, we like our downtime. We like our leisure. We're
Yeah.
leisure men, but also hard-working leisure men.
Exactly.
Which, by the way, if ever we started a band,
the hard-working leisure men, I think that would be good.
There's
yeah.
the name of the episode,
Yeah.
the hardworking leisure men.
We've no songs, but that's.
I tell you what, we'll work hard and we'll have a good time.
Yeah, and we'll leisure on stage. But yeah, just busy Christmas time, sort of you know how it is. Gets it like you have like a limited amount of weekends for the rest of the year, so you're trying to fit everything in. And aside from that, it's all good. Trying to keep busy, do gigs, and just.
What's your like schedule looking like for on the run up to Christmas? Do you like this is a thing actually I wanted to talk about on the podcast. This is when this podcast comes out on Thursday. I have one more day of work of like my full time job
That's
left,
exciting.
and then I'm just into this full time.
Into the abyss.
Now I say that. I could be murdered by the producers of the Blame Game /
will be
Tim McGarry after what my revelations have been this week. But one thing I would say, you're somebody who's been self-employed for how long now?
like 7 years.
Yeah, like what did you do before?
Signed on.
Right, okay. I knew that, yeah, but
I signed on and I was in like I did like some part-time work like on TV shows and movies and stuff like that. Like I did did some really random jobs. Like I did the Grand National advert for Channel 4 in 2012 or whatever it was. I did
riding a horse like on it, or
no, looking after the horses. And I did a film here starring Ben Kingsley called
Gandhi.
Yep, I filmed Gandhi, yeah. But I didn't know who Ben Kingsley was, so when he was on the film set, I was like, who the fuck's that weird guy? And then they were like, that's
Sir Ben Kingsley.
That's Sir Ben Kingsley, and I was like, oh right, he looks like an old little walnut. And
to be fair to him,
he
does. What I like about him is I sort of think sometimes with films, they just let things go. For example, like nowadays, if you're like, who's going to play Mohandas Gandhi? aka Mahatma Gandhi. A lot of people would be like, there, Mohandas Gandhi? And be like, Dave, you've got that wrong. But like, no, Mahatma was his title, Mohandas is his first name.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, Mohandas Gandhi. But he is an Indian man.
He is.
Ben Kingsley is not.
Is not.
But yet, won an Oscar. Also, I don't have any evidence to prove this point, but I think DDL, Daniel Day-Lewis, is not a heavily disabled man, yet played a heavily disabled man in My Left Foot, won an Oscar. See if that happened nowadays, problems.
Yeah, William Thompson would have to be in My Left Foot.
Yeah, but then people would be like, well, he can actually do things other than just move his left foot, you know?
Yeah.
But this is where I do think the world is getting slightly a wee bit far on that side of things, because acting is acting, you know? Sure. Like, I mean, a lot of people have an issue with the role Mickey Rooney played in Breakfast at Tiffany's. A lot of people, are you familiar with this?
Not really.
I mean, what I would like you to do is please just go on YouTube right now and just watch it. Just type in Mickey Rooney, Breakfast at Tiffany's, and let me know what you think of his portrayal.
Who even is Mickey Rooney?
Mickey Rooney was like a classic actor from like, you know, the 50s, 40s, 50s, 60s, I think.
Mickey Rooney, Breakfast at Tiffany's. And
then like tell me what some of the titles of it are called.
I mean, the first title just says Breakfast at Mr. Unioshis.
Yes, so what I'd like you to do is just play that. Mickey Rooney, for your information, like kind of looks like
I'm not watching with audio because I don't want to disturb the podcast listeners.
No, listen, just disturb it.
But no. But I'm enjoying the visual I'm seeing right now.
Yeah, but please, you have to. I don't care. The people will love their audio disturbed.
Listen. Okay. Alright, so Audrey Hepburn's walking up the stairs here. So is she going to get greeted by Mr.
Just wait.
I protest! Oh, darling, I am sorry, but I lost my key. But that was 2 weeks ago. You cannot go on or keep ringing my bell. You disturb me. You must have a key made.
Well, we're just going to park that for a second. And there's a lot to dive into there. So Mickey Rooney, I'm assuming, is white.
Yeah. Oh, he is very white. If anything, he's ginger.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
I'm going to read some of the YouTube comments here.
Yeah, I'd be keen to hear some of those.
Someone, I can't tell when I'm laughing at an actual joke or the absurdity of this being in a movie.
Yeah.
I want a spin-off prequel with him as the main character. I think that's a bit late.
I mean, Mickey Rooney's dead, but it's acting, so...
Someone commented going, I'm expecting him to shout, "You are ruthless to me, Eric Baldwin," and that's enjoyable.
So we shout out to Team America there.
Yeah. Who the fuck let this happen? That's supposed to be Japanese. He looks more like Alan from 2.5 Men.
Yeah, well, that's true.
Yeah. And then someone just commented going, this aged well.
Yeah. Now, this is the thing, like, I see if you look at everything by today's terms, you know, you have problems, but that especially.
Well, my argument to the whole thing is, if I do an impression of, or let's say, I'm trying to think of a good example. Let's say I do a Spanish accent. Okay?
Yes.
Something like your Spanish singers or whatever.
Yeah.
Funny.
Offensive, though,
No, it's not.
to a Spanish.
No, right.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Now, let's say a black person, or no, let's not say a black person. Let's say you do a Spanish accent. Let's say
Yeah.
I do an Indian accent.
Yes.
Racist.
Yes.
Why?
Because people are weird and awkward, and they think they assume that's kind of. But what I find annoying is not annoying. That's the wrong phrase. I don't find this annoying. I just think it is something that I'm fine with. I think, you know, if anyone's like, "Oh, where are you from, Northern Ireland?" They'll go, "Oh, Northern Ireland, that's a crack now, hey." And you
Yes.
go, imagine if I went, "Where are you from?" "I'm from Korea," and I went, "Oh," you know, people would be like, "Oh, sorry."
Yeah.
You know, I think like to do like certain things are pretty like, but yeah, it is annoying when you do, and especially when you do a great accent.
Yeah, sure.
You know, that's the worst. When
Yeah.
people don't let you do it.
Yeah.
You know?
you do a lot of great accents.
I do, and I mean, mostly on there exist places. I was doing the General Banter podcast today with Colin, and for whatever reason,
Oh dear.
the two of us just started talking a little bit. Let's just say Far Eastern.
All right.
Yeah.
What would Far
Sydney.
East?
Sydenham. Yeah.
Okay. I was
Yeah.
going to say Far East is like Afghanistan and things.
Oh no, it's the Middle
That's
East.
Middle East.
Yeah.
What's Far East?
Far East, the land of the rising sun, my friend.
Oh, so Squid Game.
Yeah, that direction. Yeah, it's sort of.
You would have been a great bad guy in Squid Game.
I mean, I actually was the guy in the tiger mask.
Yeah.
You know, that was me.
right now.
Yeah, spoiler. There you go.
He had a bad. That wasn't great for him, was it?
No,
like
but-
he literally went from "I'm about to get my dick sucked." Like he was so excited,
Yeah.
and then he got a gun pointed at his face. That'd be
Then
so bad.
did he die? No, he just
No.
sort of like got embarrassed.
No, he got embarrassed.
But then would the front man, which by the way is a terrible name for that black faced.
Asian.
Yeah, the guy that had the big black mask on him.
Yeah.
Him, the front man.
Yeah.
Like it's shit. He should have something scarier. But he, I mean, listen. I've already made some fucking Larry predictions. Here's some more predictions
Oh,
for you.
dear.
Squid Game season 2 is happening.
Oh well, that's not. I mean, that's an easy prediction.
Well, the police officer is alive.
right. Well, that's a bit of a.
Yeah,
That's a bit of a bolder one. Yeah,
alive. He's alive because the front man is Brewer. Sorry, by the way, if you haven't watched Squid Game, there's some spoilers here. Sorry if you just got that one. But the front man is the policeman's Brewer, who you went to the island to look for. If you notice, the policeman shot the front man there.
Yep.
The front man went, ah.
He
and when
did.
the front man shot him, there. Hit him there, through the clavicle, into the water.
Yeah.
He'll be all right.
He'd be good. Yes.
Now, I do have beef with the main guy. I was going to give his name. Like 456, is that what his number?
That was his number. Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll just call him 456. Was like, and it's not a sort of game you just want to have a go at, you know.
No, don't.
I mean, I'm going to look up the main guy's name because I feel like it's very similar to.
I know his mate was called Sang Woo. I know that's what his mate was called.
His mate was the one who was sly in the end, wasn't he?
He was. The marble game with the Indian fella.
Yeah.
That was the most slyest thing he could
What was
have
the
done.
Indian guy called?
Pradeep or something.
No, it was something sweet. It was cute. It was a cute wee name. So let's see what he's called. O.L. Nam was the old man, Dennis.
That's right.
Abdul Ali, that was what he's called. Ali.
Abdu Ali.
Ali. No, Seong Seong
Oh, wow.
Seong Gi-hyun. Gi-hyun is what he's known as, wasn't it?
Gi-hyun.
Gi-hyun. And then, what did you say? Chow Sang? Sang-woo?
Sang-woo.
Yeah, so that's what they call, because again, like, you know, the footballers Park Ji-sung,
I do.
it's called Park, so that's why it's confusing. So yeah, he's Sang-woo. Then Sabyok was the girl who's really sad when she got killed.
Yeah.
Then there's a guy, Jang Deok-soo, who looked like Connor Keys, you know, the tattoo of a snake in his neck.
Oh, yes, that
Anytime
is.
I saw him, like, you look like Connor Keys, mate. You know, so Connor Keys, Deok-soo. And yeah, so anyway.
And the older lady was the one I met on Shane Stag.
Yes, the older lady, Min Yao. Yeah, I like that. But yeah, so basically Ji-hyun, who by the way is
It's not Ji-hoon. That's the guy from 9 Day Fiancé.
no, but this guy's called Ji-hyun.
Gi-hoon.
No, Gi-hyun, yeah. But Ji-hyun is the guy from 90 Day Fiancé.
But they both look very similar. And that's not
Yeah.
me saying anything. That's just they do.
But yeah,
they genuinely
so
do.
call him Gi-hoon instead of Ji-hoon, because Ji-hoon is a guy from 90 Day Fiancé. It's great.
Yeah.
With the wee translator.
Yes.
But yeah, Gi-hoon, why did he not just go to see his daughter? You know what I mean? With all this money.
At the very end.
Yeah.
Because he can't. Because they're in danger now.
No, he can't go because he's won the game.
What
Game's up.
happens if first scene of season 2 shows you the airplane up in the sky and it blows up and he was meant to be on that plane because they were trying to get, because he has too much money and power now and they don't like that.
Well, that could happen. That's a good start to it.
There you go.
You know?
Just saying, this is what you got to think about, Dave.
But then he showed some elements of fatherhood that I went to myself.
He's not a great dad.
No,
he bought his
he
child a
said-
gun.
Yeah,
That was a lighter.
but then also when the guy was like, the other man went, take this money and leave.
Yeah.
He went,
I can tell which version you watched.
yeah. He was like, I will not leave my daughter. I love her. Did you watch subtitles?
No, I watched dubbed.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
I know,
if you watch
dubs is
subtitles.
good. And it wasn't a hard watch with dubs.
Once you sort of got over the initial 5 minutes,
Yeah.
you're in.
But I thought it was a very good television show. Very much enjoyed it.
Me too. Big fan.
How do we get on to Squid Game?
I've
again?
been
I don't know.
self-employed for 7 years.
Thank you.
Yes.
There we are. Self-employed for 7 years. So I am taking the step in. That's because you said to me I look like the guy out of Squid Game. I would, and see, to be fair, if a young Asian man of consensual age offered me a BJ, who am I
To turn that
to
down.
take his work off him?
Exactly.
That's all I'm saying.
There you go.
And I mean, has it happened to me before when I've been on holidays with Jake and Tim?
Oh, most definitely.
Yes. But that's neither here nor there. All right. So, yeah, so I'm stepping into this world, and my point being that how do you separate time and schedule? Like I'm used to doing in work Monday to Friday, then have the weekends. Now, for me, it was always work Monday to Friday, do stuff, see the kids for a bit, then my wife, evening, either writing, doing gigs, whatever, weekends gigs. It was never really my time as my own, whereas now I feel like if I put that into the week, I'll have more time for my kids. I'll be a better father, I'll be a better than Gi-hoon and Ji-hoon, who's
Ji-hoon.
also shit dad. But
Yeah.
you know, I feel like I very much will need some form of structure, some form of routine.
Yeah.
And like at the minute, I don't know if you've noticed, but I've lost a bit of weight. I've been, dieting, whatever, training.
Congratulations, you look really well.
Thank you. I mean, to be fair, it is like the old adage, it's like a lifeboat off the Titanic, still a lot to do, but
Sure.
one of the big things for me is getting back, because with being so busy, I just the first thing to go was my discipline in terms of dieting and training. So in the evening, I'd be fucking eating whatever's handy, wouldn't be moving as much as I used to do, and I would justify it, but I'm busy other things. Whereas now it's like I want to really focus on this year out of work. I want to lose a lot of weight. I want to get healthy. I want to live longer for my girls. And I feel like that will add a bit of routine of joining the gym.
Good.
So I want to maybe have a couple of days a week where if the girls are at school, I'll go to the gym, work out for an hour, come home, walk the dog. Then the rest of the days myself. So either working, coming here, doing recordings, whatever. But I feel like for me to keep my routine, I need something like that in my day. Even if I'm training in my garage in the house, I'll still have, I want to work out at least 3 to 4 times a week, but to have that as like, this is the day I do that. So how do you discipline yourself as someone that is self-employed? Like, do you have a set routine, or how do you turn off? Because like I found during lockdown with my day work, I was working from home, I was working till all hours, doing day work, and then trying to do this. I couldn't switch off, and then I was sleeping badly, blah blah. How do you split that?
Well, it is difficult, and there's no easy way about it, but you just sort of have to force yourself to prioritize whatever it needs to be prioritized. So you might have something that comes in really last minute, and you go, right, well, I'm going to have to change my entire day about, and that's one of the main things with self-employment is it's never like, you okay?
Sorry, yeah,
That's okay, just making sure.
Very dry throat, very dry. Because it's cold at the minute. We've got a wee electric heater on. It's just very dry in this room.
I get you. I understand.
The
every day I run every day now, so I always make a promise to myself that no matter how busy I get or what comes up, I owe it to myself to have a run every day, because it's nothing even to do with the run or the health or whatever it is, but it's just showing that I still have control where I can do something that prioritizes something that I want to do, even amongst everything else. And I think as long as you do something like that, I think it doesn't matter how other busy the rest of your day is, because you've at least made that hour and a half, 2 hour commitment to at least do something for you. And if you do that in your self-employment life every day, the rest will just fall in.
Yeah. Like, I feel like my, I don't know if he would be happy with me saying this, probably not, but I know I was speaking to my dad there a couple of days ago, and he was saying he was in a bit of a rut in terms of how he was feeling and things, and he was like getting annoyed about stuff. Like, for example, he was like, he noticed I had lost a bit of weight.
Right.
And he's like, I'm delighted, and I think it's about time, but also it annoyed him because he was like, I need to be doing that. You know, so I said to him, listen, the only way to do it is to not beat yourself up about it. Start with something. It can be even the smallest thing. Just start. And then the next day he got up and he went on the treadmill, and he said that, and I ended up walking for over an hour on the treadmill.
There you go.
I said, there you go, great start. But to me, I think a lot of it is you do get annoyed about stuff, and you do, so you have to just take the first step and just say to yourself, right, tomorrow I will do this, and then that becomes kind of,
well, this should be a happy year for you.
Yeah.
Because you've wanted this for so long. And also, like, I remember my first year of self-employment was like, it felt like such a blur because it went by so quickly. And also, like, I think I pretty much, I think I had maybe the best time just because it was like, oh, this feels like something cool. You know what I mean? And I think the novelty of it is definitely there in the first year that'll really carry you on to be able to do stuff, you know?
Well, I certainly think, like, at the minute, like, as I sit here today, I honestly don't feel like Friday, my last day in work, is as big a moment as it will be. You know, I think because of so much on this week, and then of Ulster Hall next week, that my head is so fucking fixed on being busy that realistically, like, I think I said it on my Patreon podcast, that this is like, everyone's like, what's your goals in comedy, or what's your goals in anything? That was my goal. Like, that's all I've ever wanted, was to be full time at this. And now I'm going to have that chance for a year, and I don't want to ever go back. Let's put it like this: I'm technically on a career break for a year, but I'll not go back. I don't feel like I'll go back. Whether I go to a different job or something, I'll not go back to that job. I just have it in my head I don't want to do that.
Sure.
And if I do go back, I'll not continue to do comedy to the extent that I am, because something will have to give. You know, I'll get to the point where I'll go, you know, would I even gig? I don't know. I honestly can't say if I would do stand up even. You know, I would just be like, well, I need to go up the ladder here to go earn things that way for the kids ultimately. You know, maybe I'll write because I enjoy writing, and it's probably a bit of money in that more than just doing gigs. But again, why do you do gigs? You know, yes, I love doing stand up, but there ultimately has to be a point in doing the gigs. You know, there has to be a reason for that to take you somewhere. And if you're just doing it for a hobby, I mean, I enjoy other things, going for coffees, watching films, you know, going for walks, going on holidays. Like, why would you go out and potentially eat shit of a Tuesday night in the cold for 20 quid, you know, when you could potentially do other things? So again, that's the risk for it in me, or in this for me, is that, you know, I am ultimately, if it doesn't work out, I will just go, I tried, and this is it. So
remember too, though, being busy is like the best thing.
Yeah.
In some respects, because if you're busy, you're making money essentially.
Yeah. And listen, I love working, and that's the thing. I think for me to be at this level I'm at now with comedy and other stuff, it's because, you know, I have a good work ethic. So I'm putting in 8 hours a day, and still, you know, being, I'd just say I'm probably kind of locally, I'd be maybe Champions League places, Europa League places, you know, but that's with a full-time job. So I myself will go, if I don't step up, that's all down to me being a lazy bastard, really.
Yeah, but yeah, just like, again, if you're busy, it's great. That's what you want. You want to wake up to your day going, Jesus, this is a big one, and you want to have loads of those, especially your first year, because that means that something's clicking. And then
now, what is jammy, and it is a bit of a luxury to fall back on, is that I have already got enough work to cover, say, my mortgage for the year, and all being well at Ulster Hall, that should hopefully cover my bills for a year.
There you go.
So then anything I earn is just like day-to-day stuff, which I will have nothing off, by the way, until we start. But, you know, ultimately that's the pressure on me. And I think what's weird, I think since the lockdown, my attitude has changed in terms of, I maybe felt a bit more entitled before. That with stand-up, you're like, oh, I should be getting booked for this, or people should be asking me to do that because I'm Dave Elliott. Whereas after that one's taken away, it's like, it could very conceivably go again. So I've no shame or pride to ask for gigs. You know, go out asking for work, looking for it, rather than
No,
expecting
not
it
at
to
all.
come to me. I think that's going to be, you know, an eye opener for me, really.
Not at all. You should always be putting yourself forward and pitching
Yeah.
yourself. You know what I mean? Maybe people have this sort of complex where they think, oh, I want to try to look cool and be sort of mysterious or whatever. But
Yeah.
realistically, it's very easy, no matter how big you are, to be forgotten if you just
Yeah,
put
absolutely.
yourself away. Yeah.
And it's just, yeah, it'll be interesting. And I mean, I think I'll know very much by January what I'm like. Like if,
I'll give it a bit longer.
but like, you know what I mean? If I'm lying around the macaques come January eating fucking Doritos doing
Class.
fuck all, I'll go, maybe I need a job. This is
Yeah.
a problem.
Yeah.
You know, like even during the pandemic, I was working from home. It was a bollocks, but it still kept my mind on stuff. And in the evenings when I didn't have, again, I'm just in such a routine now that actually Catherine, my wife, was saying, she's like, oh, of an evening, I might have you again. You know, I might have you back present in our lives, because she's like, you're just doing stuff, whether you're writing, you're working, you're always doing fucking something.
Yeah.
So she's like, if that becomes your day job, we can, you know, do stuff together more.
The
Which has been nice.
what you'll find is when you're self-employed, the most basic things that you did when you had a job become annoying. So
Yeah.
things like going to the gym, not going to
Yeah.
the gym. The going to the gym part's great.
Yeah.
It's the travel to and from the gym,
Yeah.
because you're going, shit, I'm spending a half hour here in
Yeah.
traffic or whatever. And then the showering after the gym, you're going, oh,
Yeah.
there's an hour. So there's like an hour out of your day where you're going,
Yeah.
oh, flip. And then having to feed yourself for
Yeah.
lunch, there's another half hour and you're like, oh, flip it. And then
Yeah.
next thing you know, you're like, oh, well, there's 2 hours
Yeah.
just completely down the shitter.
See, that's the thing with me, is that why with those routines of going to the gym, like the gym I have joined is 20 minutes from the house.
See,
So that's 40 minutes.
there's
there
40
back.
minutes already done.
So for me, I'm going to say, like, I'm going to maybe leave the girls to school for 9 or whatever, go straight there, be there for 9:30.
Okay.
Well, the one thing I will say, back in the day when I was much more into my training, I would have probably spent an hour and a half, 2 hours working out.
We're going to do 45.
Yeah, I'll do 45 max. And then I'll probably hop in the sauna.
Nice. So let's say
Go.
then you finish up your gym by like 20 past 10 or whatever.
Yeah.
So then 20 minutes back, there's
Yeah.
20 to 11.
Yeah.
Then do you get a shower at the gym, or
Yes, I like the shower
so
there.
maybe then we add a bit
But
more
I hop
buffer
into the
time.
sauna too.
Either way, you're home for 11.
Yeah.
So there's 2 hours from
Yeah.
9.
And then
so
that's-
your working day's not starting till 11.
Yeah, but
And
the
then-
only thing about that is that there'll be days where I get up early before I leave the girls to school and I'll train the garage.
Well, that's good, yeah.
And I'm there, you know. But again, I'm like, I'm going to bring that whiteboard or buy a new one. Actually, would probably buy a new one.
I have one if you want it.
I do want it.
I genuinely have one
Yeah.
identical to this
Yeah,
if you want
I'll
it.
take it off your hands. If
It's
that's
in
okay.
my house in Belfast.
It's a
You'll have
deal.
to collect it.
Yes, no, I'll collect that. And yeah, I need that. I was actually looking one to do my Ulster Hall notes. So I might even pop around at the weekend, collect it off
You tell me when you want to come
Yeah.
collect it and it's sitting there.
Because I'm going to stick it in my Catherine would be delighted to know I'm going to stick it in my dining room for a week.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure she'll be
Yeah.
very, very happy. Sorry,
But
Catherine.
yeah, I just need a wee run. Like, I'll tell you one thing that I love is my wee diary. Like, that's fucking keeps me great. Like,
Those are
I like
good.
a traditional diary, and like this is actually great because it's a diary and a notepad. So what they've done is they've got the diary on this side and the notes on that
Oh,
side,
that is good.
Very
That's
productive.
premium. That's a,
and that's what I'm all about.
sometimes
you know?
I'll do that on a
Yeah.
depends on what my day. If I know I've got a day coming up where I'm like I've got like 8 things to do, I'll
Yeah.
go like right breakfast 8. Shower 9,
Mm-hmm.
gym, whatever, blah blah blah, and then I'll slot in. Right, I do this piece of work at this time, this piece of work at this time.
Yeah.
I'll break for lunch at this time, and so I pretty much anally every single hour
Yeah.
is routined and structured so that like, and then I get a text from Shane Todd being like, "Do you
Yeah.
all come in?" And I'm like, "Mate, I can't. I
Yeah.
literally can't."
Yeah,
the,
like that's one thing that always baffles me about Shane is like he always fits in time to have lunch.
yeah.
Like, and you're like we did a video on Sunday, so it was something on Sunday morning, and it was in West Belfast, so it's a queer jaunt from
For you, yes,
from the north down coast of Bangor,
of course.
and that's fine. So with that, it was one of the weekends where my dearly beloved was working in the hospital, you know, just saving lives, whatever it is, what it is.
Sure.
And I then had to like organise childcare to be like, right, mum and dad, can you take the girls for, like I said, a couple of hours? But again, there's a travelling there too and things that might delay. So I said, no problem. I have the dog too, who doesn't like to be left alone too long. God love him. You feel sorry for him.
Of course.
So I said, yeah, a couple of hours. Then we finished and he's like, do I go for lunch? I'm like, no, I need to get home. And he was sort of like, oh, but you could. I'm like, no,
Yeah.
I can't.
You've got a life.
I mean, I would like to go for lunch, of course, don't get me wrong, but at the same time, I don't want to put, like, again, burden on my parents looking after the kids, whereas maybe he's comfortable. I don't know what his his wife could have been there, that'd be fine, but see when you're burdening the kids on people and in the dog, it's just stuff you just be like, you gotta be back. Yeah,
I feel bad. I go through a bit of a complex where when people ask me to do things, I feel myself bad for turning people down.
Yeah,
because
see,
I
that's
don't like turning people down, but also
you're very good at that. Like, you're a very available friend, and you're very helpful. And sometimes I think it's to the point of detriment. You know, it's like as somebody who relies on a lot of your skills, I sometimes am like, I need to ask him, but I don't want to. You know, because I'm like, I know this is so shit for him, but you know, I know I can't do it myself because I'm such a fucking idiot.
Sure, but you're gonna learn.
I'm gonna learn. I mean, what would you do if I became like, you know, the last Airbender, the number one editing guy in the world? Like, this was like, people are like, go to this guy, he is the skillful one.
I'd be very happy for you, although I don't think it would be good for you because you don't want your career to go that way.
No.
You don't want to be the best. You want to be the best comedian. However,
but listen, here's another thing that I think gives me comfort in being, I mean, as I'm just about to promote my Ulster Hall show.
Yes, which I will be supporting.
Which you're supporting. Which, by the way, we might not even do stand-up. We might just sit and offer people life advice.
At this point, I think
Who knows? But what I want to say is, I don't think I will ever be the world's greatest comedian, ever. Like, in the whole wide world, I don't think so.
I mean, I would say the same about myself too. I don't even know if I'm the best in the West Belfast there.
I thought you were going to say in this room, and I'd be like, well, I'd agree. But what I would say is, like, I think some people always want that. But then if you know, listen, this is my limitations. Yeah. But I can still do well. Yeah. It's all good.
I prefer to take as a humble approach as I can and just go, look, I think I'm alright. I think I'm good.
No, I think you're good. If I were to say the only criticism I would have for you would be, I think you overanalyze yourself, and that's
that's always been
and I think that needs to be something that you need once you can maybe come back from that and know that you can make a wee slip up here and be a bit more, see, like, when I enjoy watching you the most is when something happens in the audience and you have to be there in the moment. Like, I'll always point back that night of Pugs and you burst the balloon.
Sure.
Well, after the fourth attempt, but that was very enjoyable time. But that was a lot of fun.
I do have some ones where I loosen up and it's all good, but it's just getting into that. It's more of a mind frame thing for me. I can't remember what we were talking about there. We were talking about
routines.
Talking about routines or something else as well, but it's not coming to
But
mind.
Listen, we've already talked
Ulster Hall?
I think, yes, Ulster Hall, which will be next Friday. Now, tickets are actually doing really well. I need to be careful what I say here because I'm angry with a lot of people today.
Oh, yeah.
I have issues
of
with how potentially my show has been, I'll say, promoted. And at the minute, if I were to speak, it's like when Jose Mourinho did it. I will not speak. I will not speak. I don't want to get myself in trouble. I will not say anything.
Yes.
But you know, with the right bit of fucking help in the next week, we could sell it out.
Sure.
That's what I'm saying. However, the help that I've received thus far, no. So if you want to come, guys, please get your tickets because I'm hoping it'll sell out. You know, I am. And there's still a lot of work to be done, but the workhorse will do it. And see if it doesn't sell out. I think there's too much onus put on selling out these days. The show will be good. I know what's going in it. It'll be good. Again, I need to run it. That's another issue for another day. I've asked if I can run it a few times. If I can wake out, still no answer, making me get a bit going bolder than I even am. Grayer. But we'll not get into that here because it's doing well. It's going to be a good show. It's going to happen. It's Black Eye Friday. Come have a few pints, enjoy the show, kick fuck out of people in the street afterwards. Yes. As long as you don't do it at the show. Sure. Aaron doesn't like hecklers and I hate them. So just keep yourselves quiet. Pretend you're in church and we're a couple of priests ready to fuck you in the head if you ruin the show. Put it like that.
We were talking about not being the greatest comedian, I remember. We've accepted that, is what I was saying.
Yeah, but listen, skullfuckers, number one and number two
one
right
skullfuckers in the Ulster Hall.
I mean,
next Friday.
We are the number one skullfuckers and we're the hardworking leisure men. That's two things that we are. But anyway, so please do get your tickets there. I would love to see you there, and it's going to be a lot of fun. And to be fair, the biggest moment of my professional life, next Friday. Like today, it just hit me out of nowhere. I was like, yeah, I'm going full time here. The only goal I've ever had was that, and now a week later from my finish my last, I'm doing the biggest gig of my life. So it's a lot to take on board, you know. And like, I don't know if you remember, whenever I had my wedding coming up, I moved house.
I do. I remember that very well.
And we had our firstborn.
Yeah.
And I kind of lost my head.
Yes.
I went mental.
Yes.
I think's fair. I think I was on the cusp of a full-scale mental breakdown.
Like the Joseph Kony guy?
Yeah, so
You were about
sometimes
to
I was nearly
run down
running
me.
naked in the street trying to look for a war criminal.
Yeah.
But yeah, when I have a very, like sometimes I think I'm almost blasé with the stuff I take on until I realise I'm doing a lot of fucking shit right here and my head's up Mars.
Yes.
So it could potentially be you could just have to do an hour. And also I could just have a mental breakdown in the lead up to the gig, and then like true, I've spoken about it in the podcast before, but I was sent to the doctor. I was frog marched to the doctor by my wife, and the doctor was like, listen mate, you can go to this recovery college where you can, like, you know, speak to people about getting your mental health back on. And then the only thing that made me go, I'll see how it goes, was because I felt better from talking to him. But also he's like, and then you finish this sweet recovery college, you get a certificate.
I mean, that's appealing.
Yeah. And I went, well, what could I do? He goes, put it on your wall, mate. Like, celebrate your victories. And I'm like going, well, what's it going to say? Like, recover, like, he's recovered from a mental breakdown. Celebrate your wins. But luckily, again, and that was the other thing, it was just 6 weeks before I got married, because the guy was like, if you start taking ADs now, antidepressants, they'll kick in on your wedding day. And I was like, can I drink on them? And he was like, not advised. You know, because he's like, you're taking stuff that's not a depressant, and then you're taking alcohol, which is a depressant, and you're depressed.
I thought he was going to say you wouldn't be able to get a route or something.
Oh, I couldn't anyway, it's blocked.
Yeah.
But
Fair.
yeah, and it is what it is. But I mean, I was going to tell a story there. It was just a bit too personal.
Save that. Yeah,
a little bit. But yeah, so he basically was like, yeah, just and then talking to him, I was like, you know what, I'm just happy to have shared it and not felt like I was a rare guy, because at the time I was like, you know, into training more and stuff, and I was scared of going to the gym. It was the weirdest feeling ever. I was like, I can't fucking leave this house. And Catherine was like, you haven't changed your trousers in 3 days. I'm like, I don't want to do anything. Oh, and she was like, what's wrong with you? And I was like, everything is wrong with me. And then I was getting these rashes on my hands, like just fucking, and it was like just stress. And that'll do it to you.
Well, hopefully the next few months.
So all I'm
that
saying,
doesn't happen.
Not the next few months.
The next week.
Yeah. If I continue to get the level of shit thrown at me that I have had in the last couple of days, I could lose it. I'm the sort of guy that would, you know, I'm like John McEnroe. I would lose it. I hit people. You know, people would be like, Dave, I'm sorry, I haven't got you any headbutt, arrested, show cancelled. Yeah. You know, that would be me. I would just snap. I'm on an edge. So what I'm saying is, guys, if you want me to be less stressed about stuff, buy tickets. Is that or is that not the greatest promotion of all time?
Here's the thing: they're getting a great show. Okay,
yeah, they are.
They're getting to see, you know, one of the best warm-up acts in the country.
Absolutely,
myself. You know what I mean? Look, I know we shouldn't praise ourselves and be too cocky, but I think it's well earned.
Another criticism of yourself is maybe you don't have enough self-confidence or praising yourself. So I support that. I think you are one of the greatest.
Thank you. And you'll also see you.
Yeah,
one
exactly.
One of the best in the country.
You also
right
see
now.
me, one of the most, would you say, on the edge guys. Just on a side note of anything, just a guy on the edge.
Yeah, if you want to see a guy who might potentially, you know, lose himself on stage,
you know, this is the guy to come and see.
This is like, if you want to see a show that's unpredictable, wild, sexy, crazy, you're this is
and by the way, you know, the producers are out to kill me, so you know, maybe I'll be whacked.
If you want to see Tim McGarry and Jake O'Kane come beat the fuck out of Dave Elliott after the show.
I'll tell you something too. I don't know if you've ever noticed, but he's big.
Oh, is he? I've never seen him in person.
Like, anytime you look at him, you think, oh, he's just a normal sized guy.
He does look small.
Stacked.
Right.
Guy's fucking beef, like.
Oh, like jacked?
He's like powerful, yeah.
What height is he?
I thought he's like 5'8", but he's about 6'2". He's fucking
really?
Big man, like.
That's funny. I wonder why he looks so. Maybe it's just being next to Tim on a panel.
Yeah,
makes you
Tim's 6'9".
8 foot. Yeah. Tim's the BFG, like.
Yeah,
the big, the block fucking giant.
Oh no, Tim's a good guy. Like
Tim is, we love Tim.
No, we do love Tim.
Yeah.
I mean, I less so than you, but no, he is a good guy. And I have another segment. This is the fucking sly dig. Let's just say what it is. Naomi's like, luckily I only put it on just before it started. So, this is a segment. I don't know if you know sly dig. It's one of the things where I get angry.
Sure.
So this suggestion is people who say to their kids, if you don't behave, that girl's going to shout at you when I'm in work. It really irritates me. I couldn't give two shit what your little semen demon is doing. You know what I'd say? You should. If the mum gives you the power to shout at the kids,
Shout at it.
shout at it.
Yeah.
Listen here, you fucking wee piece of shit.
Yeah.
If you make a lot of noise in my fucking shop, and then like, what are those wee things? The like the wee tags that go on things. There's like a wee
Security
gun to
tags.
take them off, but it looks really sharp.
Oh, yes.
Fucking shove this up your. No, don't say shove it up to the child.
No.
I'll stab you in the head with this.
with
Yeah.
it. Yeah,
Not
yeah.
don't ever threaten to shove anything up a child.
Right.
It was remiss of me to suggest that, and apologies. But yeah, so the podcast is sponsored by Phat Bastrd Burger,
Of course.
which is, you don't talk during this.
Sorry.
This is these guys pay to hear me for this. Sorry, Mr. Come on.
Sorry. No.
Phat
Take it
Bastrd
away.
Burger. It is the premium Wagyu beef burger joint on the high street in Bangor. Now I'll let you talk now. You like a wee burger?
I'll tell you, I would prefer more like chicken, but the odd time, for a special treat, I'll have a beef burger.
Hold on, but do you like chicken burgers?
I love
Are
chicken
you
burgers.
crazy for cock?
Mental for it.
Well, these guys in Phat Bastrd Burger have a chicken burger called Crazy for Cock.
And what's in this?
It's a
burger?
chicken burger. It's got cheese. It's got lettuce. It's got the works. It's got some delicious sauces and relish. I'm going to take you for some Crazy Cock someday, and then we'll get a burger in Phat Bastrd Burger. But Phat Bastrd Burger are the sister company of our longtime friends Bebe Adrianos, again situated on the high street in Bangor, selling the most delicious burritos you ever tried. You're a burrito guy too, aren't you?
I love burrito. Yeah.
Have you had a Bebe Adrianos before?
haven't.
Right. What you're going to do? You're going to come back down to Bangor,
Of course.
and I'm going to take you to my places. I'm a
Yes.
man who likes to eat. I'm going
Yep.
to take you to spots. I'm going to let you see. And Bebe Adrianos is a spot you're going to go. You know what you're going to get?
What am I getting?
You're going to get a dirty cock and cow
Burrito?
burrito.
Okay. Yeah.
No, a box, a dirty cock
There's
and
a lot
cow
of dirty
box.
cock in this
A dirty
restaurant.
cock and cow box is
Yeah,
what you're
yeah.
going to get, which is delicious. The dirty cock and cow box. Do you want to guess what's in a dirty cock and cow box?
I'm gonna guess chicken, chili, rice, lettuce of some kind.
I mean, what I want to say to you is you're close, but
I'm not
again,
there.
it's not. There's no cigar.
right. Close, but not
it's,
right.
It's marinated steak, Mexican chicken, fries, sweet potato fries, peppers, onions, tomato, corn salsa, lettuce with a sauce of your choice. And you know what my choice is? Smoked paprika. And hey, you're a man who likes the seasonal changes, don't you? You like
Enjoy
Christmas.
it. Yeah.
You're a man who likes to. Was it fair to say you're a man that likes to empty your sack morning Father Christmas?
All the time.
Now, for a short period only, for a limited time only, our friends at Bebe Adrianos and Phat Bastrd Burger are releasing, guess what? Guess what they're releasing?
Is it turkey?
Guess.
Stuffing?
Guess what it is?
Is
It is the Christmas burrito.
right?
Turkey,
Turkey,
ham,
ham.
chipolatas, the works.
Wow.
All in a fucking burrito, in your mouth, stuffing, good gear. Would recommend. And hey, what a delicious, delicious time. And if you want 10% off, and sometimes 10% doesn't do it justice. Sometimes they fucking say 10% is not enough, have 20% off. Sometimes now Phat Bastrd Burger do 2 for 1 because it's a new company. They want you to try their delicious burgers. I'm a burger man. Shocker, and I recommend their burger. I recommend all their burgers. I recommend the Crazy for Cock burger. I recommend the Phat Bastrd burger. I just recommend the works. I love it. It's delicious. It is nutritious, and also there's more burgers here that I'm trying to get. The cheesy Phat Bastrd, the Phat Bastrd, the porky Phat Bastrd, the Ringo Stingo burger,
Oh, no.
the fattest fuck duck, the Crazy for Cock, which is what you're going to get.
Of course.
And I'm gonna video you ordering.
Yeah,
I just want you to
yeah.
go in and say I'm crazy for cock, and then they'll be like, "Oh, the burger," you be no, and then you'll leave. But also, this is for people who are weird, like vegetarians, like my wife. But there's a burger called the Cauliflower and Quinoa, which looks nice. To be fair, I've only looked at it. I've never eaten it, but I've looked at it, and it looks good. So get on phatbastardburger.com, check that out. And of course the Bebe Adrianos Christmas wrap, as I said, turkey, ham, stuffing, sweet potato fries, crunchy chicken, cranberry mayo, lettuce, chipolata sausages, all in a 12-inch wrap. Delicious. So yeah, as I said, get the app for 10, sometimes 20% off. Or if you're old school, you want to ring them, you want to get on the phone, hit up 028 91 47 9988. That's 02891479988. Say Davey sent you. Say the butler was crazy for cock.
Yep.
And the podcast is also brought to you by Modest Beer. Modest has been with us from day one on the Sly Guy podcast. So have these cans, which, by the way, are like some of their older cans. We need to get new cans. But fortunately, Chris, the mastermind behind Modest, is a busy man. I'm a busy man. We're all busy. But we have a little project in mind. We collab between myself and Modest. What's that going to be? They're going to come here with a load of tins of Modest beer.
Oh dear.
And I'm going to drink them. And we're going to do it for Patreon. And we're going to discuss all the different beers and what they're like. And it's going to be a nice time. And it's going to be a fun record. If you want to even come along for that.
I'll come along, yeah.
You can have a nice time because it's going to be pretty wild. But if you want to know more, contact Modest on Instagram, Facebook or Twitter at Modest Beer, or at www.modestbeer.co.uk to find your nearest stockist. Listen, guys, it's been a long podcast. It's longer than we want. Covered some topics good, covered some topics bad, offended some people, and just got a bit silly. But listen, this is what we're all about. And Luke wants to know, on Come Dine With Me, what is your 3-course menu and who's invited? Well, come dine with me.
Come dine on you.
Well, yeah. Well,
that would be a show.
Yeah. Well, I would say on come. Like I had a better idea for a show. I had instead of Come Dine With Me, strictly Come Dancing. So what it was like people just got covered in cum, got bukkake, and then had to dance.
There is strictly cum dancing, but you want to be strictly cum dancing.
CUM cum dancing. Yeah.
They should just call it strictly cum.
No, strictly cum dancing. You're on the dance floor. You're in slippery shoes. You've been bukkake. It's dangerous. It's risky. It's high. It's ECW of cum dancing.
Yeah, it's like Gladiators meets Blind Date meets.
I mean, bukkake on the porn websites. Yeah. So
yeah.
I can't on Strictly or on Come Dine With Me. You can't choose who's invited, so I can't really know who my guests are. It'll be random. But my courses, I would say, would be. I mean, it's different to what I'm good at cooking and what I actually like to eat. Because like a good steak is hard to beat, but I'm not good at cooking a steak. I would make a really good Italian pasta.
You gotta play to your strengths.
Yeah, like make a really good lasagna, because I'm a Tony Soprano guy. So yeah,
you'll get cancelled for that accent in 6 years.
Yeah, probably. I mean, if there was probably going to be like a cancel police. If they would be like, your task is to go through this guy's podcast, find out week 1 done.
Yeah,
but hey, I've had hundreds of episodes.
They wouldn't have to do too much research.
No.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would say starter, baked camembert. It's nice, isn't it? Simple and nice.
That's tasty. That's like Christmassy.
Yeah, baked camembert, main course, big lasagna, homemade garlic bread, and then for dessert, I make a really good Malteser cheesecake, like to the point that people at Christmas will be like, Davey, you going to do your cheesecake? And I'll go, fucking go on then. Go on. Or I could make a pretty mean banoffee as well. And I like banoffee, so I mean, I would throw up a fucking flick a coin to see. But then I could do scallops, I could do fucking seafood chowder, who knows?
Wow.
I'm a good chef. I'm a man who, likes to eat and like to eat good food. I, in many respects, do think of myself as Henry VIII, or for any French listeners, Henri Louis. And I do think, I would enjoy to have been Henry VIII, just having banquets.
Who wouldn't?
I mean, people who, maybe are big feminists.
Fuck off.
Yeah.
Is what I say to them.
Yeah, but Henry VIII would be a lot of fun, wouldn't it?
Because if they were a male and they were if you're a male and you're at that time of period, you're Henry VIII.
Yeah.
You're living the best life of anyone on the planet.
True, but then also if Henry's annoyed at you, he'll lob your bonds off.
Yeah.
Listen, Marie Antoinette.
Yep.
Give it a good run. Say ye.
There you go.
Yeah. So yeah, what would you make, or would you order in? You strike me as the kind of guy who would get a banquet.
Nah, I'm ordering in.
Yeah,
I'm ordering it, and I don't fucking cooking's for fucking not for me. I would just go to the merchant hotel, hand them a sack of money, and go, make me the nicest 3 courses you have, and bring it to my house in West
All I'm going to
Belfast.
say is I don't think the merchant is the best for delicious food.
I have no idea. I don't dine out in Belfast or anything like unless it's Nando's or Boojum.
But you do eat out.
I know. I eat out many times a week.
Yeah.
If you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. We do know.
Yes.
Next question.
Assholes.
Dean has asked your top 5 movies or TV shows. Dave, I'll go first.
That's hard.
My movies, I think Inception is one. Sin City is one. The Great Escape would be there. A vintage. I also really like Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. I mean, I love it. I love it a lot. And then one I always watch a lot is Home Alone. I have to watch it every year, and it's a great film.
That's good.
But I mean, it's hard to pick your all-time favourites.
There's too many. Yeah. I like Dumb and Dumber, the original. I like Grease. I like.
Yeah, me and Catherine argue about this because she calls it Grease, but I, for annoyance reasons, call it Grease.
Grease. That's all right.
Grease. And she's like, why are you talking like that? And I'm like, well, because I don't annoys you.
Well, Grease is the way you would say it then. I like the Avengers movies.
Yeah.
I like the Endgame ones. They're really good. I don't know what else. That's my...
Showgirls. It's another good film.
I don't know if it'd be my top 5. Maybe when I was 14.
Yeah.
It was in my top 5.
But what about TV shows then? What are your Power Rangers?
Power Rangers for nostalgia, yeah, but I wouldn't want... I haven't watched an episode of Power Rangers in like 6 or 7 years, I'd say.
Yeah.
90 Day Fiance.
I mean, that's one we agree on. A good show.
Big show.
Yeah.
In my repertoire. I used to love a show called Supernatural, but it ended. It was about two
Supernatural
sexy guys.
Did well, didn't it?
2 sexy guys chasing ghosts. It was very enjoyable.
Supernatural. Did Ben like that? No, he liked Teen Wolf. That was the
what
show
a
he
fucking...
said. He enjoyed.
What is he? A 12-year-old girl?
Yeah, I mean, yes, he is actually.
Yeah,
that's because I mean, whatever he identifies with, he's welcome in my world.
Oh, absolutely.
Shows I watch a lot. Match of the Day.
Yeah,
I like but I don't know why. Cause fucking support Arsenal.
Yeah.
Dexter New Blood. I've been watching it. I like the
Haven't
Dexter
seen
series. I didn't like the last couple of seasons, but I loved it at one point. The Sopranos. I'm big into it at the minute. It's a good show.
Never seen it.
Comedy wise, The Office.
shows?
I love the original Office. Haven't even watched the American. Refused to.
Right.
And just because I'm stubborn. And then Peep Show. Love that. Always find it very enjoyable. But yeah, I'm into a lot of things. You know, I like to watch TV. I like to watch series. I like Power. Did you ever see that? Even though I'm not.
No.
A lot of boobs in that.
Big fan of those. I love murder documentaries. I love all those.
You were a big Tiger King fan, weren't you?
Huge.
Yeah.
Did you see the second
I
one?
haven't. Have you?
Oh yeah, all of it.
Is it good? Or is it like season 2 of Making a Murderer where it's just gone, there's money to be made here?
Oh well, yeah, totally. And that, by the way, that's what's going to happen with Squid Game as well, because like Netflix will just rush anything.
But the thing about the guy who wrote Squid Game was like,
you think he's got integrity?
And he was like, I don't have another series. That's all I wrote.
Well, he does now.
Yeah.
Because they've already announced that there's going to be a season 2. So he's like, I don't have another series, and then Netflix shake a bit of money at him. He's like, actually, guys,
but like he hadn't read this, so he shit himself like a bollocks. He need to come up with this.
He'll figure it out. But so I watched. It is similar to Make a Murder 2. Where?
Or Marcella, I like it.
I haven't seen Marcella.
It's good.
But
oh fuck me in the arse and call me Charles Bronson.
All right, Charles.
Luther.
Oh,
that's a fucking great show.
Is that about the devil? No.
Pardon?
Is that about the devil? No.
No, Luther. That's you're thinking of
Lucifer.
Luther is Idris Elba.
Oh,
great
right.
show. Another Idris Elba classic is The Wire.
Right. I've
So
never
many
seen
good
it.
TV shows.
There is a lot.
Gamthronish from Irish listeners, another show I like, but I don't think it's the upper echelons, but it was fucking great. It was great. Oh, and it ended just weirdly. But here's the thing. You name a series that ended amazing, everyone's bitter about the end of like of not a series, but like a show. You know?
Yeah,
like,
you think no one's ever happy or satisfied?
No, because like it's very rare. Like The Sopranos, people are like, why the fuck did it end like that?
Yeah.
Game of Thrones, what the fuck? Everyone's like that. But if you think about an arc of anything, any story, starts, it peaks in the middle,
yeah,
and then concludes.
Yeah.
So the conclusions are never going to be
true.
You know, like. So there we are. That's a wee bit of insight or whatever. Jay Red has said, as you plan to leave a full-time job, do you reckon your employer will get you anything nice? If you could receive a gift of recognition for your service, would you prefer a carriage clock or gift vouchers? Well, gift vouchers. But I mean, I would like a plaque that says you have been the most inspirational member of staff for 13 years.
That's a good bet. I think that's well earned. I
mean, I'm probably one of the most infamous members of staff, let's be fair. But yeah, I'd definitely like something to celebrate me. Dean has said, as a young sly guy, what Christmas present did you desperately want, only to be sorely disappointed on Christmas Day? I'm going to say I got everything I ever wanted. I'm a big fat little Lord Fauntleroy and I got spoiled. The one thing I will say, I got the Thunderbirds Tracy Island for Christmas one year, which, do you know what that is?
It's I know what the Thunderbirds is. Tracy Island is...
Oh my days, it is their home.
Their hub, yeah.
But my fuck, see that toy? The greatest toy ever. Like all the Thunderbirds all their wee ships and all fit in it, but you could like press a button and it would like fucking open a wee secret garage. You bring out Thunderbird 2 and then you fucking pull back the swimming pool and up comes Thunderbird 1. It was elite level toys. Like, I hate to sound old, but they don't make toys like that anymore. Like, I saw Tracy Island in Smiths recently because now I have to go to these places because I have children.
I love Smiths.
But by fuck, it's not as good. Not as good as mine. Like, mine was a bit of metal and all in it.
This one's all plastic.
Yeah.
Cheap.
Shite. Load of shite.
See?
But what I will say, Santa left a bit of coal into the wee secret garage part, which I didn't like. Because I was like, Santa, why'd you be a dick? Just don't give me the present. If you're going to be an arsehole,
Yeah.
you know, whereas nowadays, with the way the world's gone, recessions, the Great Depressions, other things, coal will be useful. Heat your house. So Santa maybe needs to think about giving people other things.
Who uses coal anymore?
Like, you know what Santa should give kids instead of coal?
Go on.
Chinese burns, mate.
Right.
He should come down the chimney and just go, yeah, in their sleep.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go. Sharon, oh yes. Sharon said, my partner and I have names. No, for the regulars at the gym whose names we don't actually know. Sex Man. He has phone sex while working out, which I mean, maybe a business guy, but like, how can you be like pumping out and...
You'll be doing that just to stay productive.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what he's doing.
And Everyday Man, which is the same clothes every day, even inside or outside the gym, tall guy, etc. Is there anyone you made up a name for? If we're talking the gyms, I did when I was younger. I went to a Sporta at the Hollywood Exchange, and there's a guy who worked there in the cafe, and me and my friend Darren called him Tub, T-U-B, which stands for the Ultimate Beast. He was a big jack guy, just fucking making lattes, but being too jacked to be making lattes. And then they got a personal trainer in who was of a similar jacked stature to Tub, the Ultimate Beast, but smaller. So we called him Tubalicious.
Right.
So hold on. There's Billy, and he just let me come on up. Is the door open? Hello?
Hello, I am here.
Right, is the door open? Give it a rattle.
Is the yarn patch or what that is?
Yeah, it's opposite the yarn patch. Yeah. Tell me if the door. If not, I'm just wrapping the pod. So if it's locked, I'll be down 2 minutes. All right. Cheers, back.
William Thompson.
So
we were talking about
nicknames. So yeah, Tubalicious. Then also Miss, which any gym you go to. So if just the most beautiful woman in the gym, it's just Miss whatever gym. Miss DW.
right.
Miss Fitness First. Mrs. Sporta. You know, Miss David Lloyd. And then also there's a guy who I knew his name was Sam, but that was it. So however,
right.
he always went to the swimming area afterwards, and let's just say he was known as Sam Package. Sam didn't wear it wasn't Speedos he wore. It was like, you know, the short Speedos, the shorts, but Speedos.
Yes.
So Christopher said, what's worse, sea swimmers or people who make Instagram accounts for their pets? I mean, I think it's people with the mindset that anyone gives a fuck about their activities enough to set up a page. There's my dog. Just post your dog on your real page, you know? Or sea swimming, don't tell anyone about it. And the last but not least, because William's out in the cold and I feel bad because he's got this disability, Matthew says, getting married this month, and I've just realised my best man's orders a fillet of fish from McDonald's. Oh no. Can this man be trusted? In short, no.
Yeah, you got to find. I'll step in.
Yeah.
I'll be your best man.
Yeah, there you go.
Because a random guy is more trustworthy than a guy who you've known for your life that owns a filet of fish.
Yeah, that's fair. The Botman's closed it. Thank you very much for stepping into the podcast.
A pleasure.
It's been a fun episode.
Pleasure.
Hopefully anyone watching on YouTube's not been too put off by the fact that I've just been staring over here the whole time.
That's okay.
While sound has been coming from off the screen.
Fuck them.
But fuck them, listen to the audio. Take care, guys. See you next week.
I'm the sly guy.